Welcome into the CHGO White Sox podcast. On today's show, we'll be talking about Luis Robert Jr.'s excellent spring so far. We'll talk rotation questions, we'll talk bullpen questions, and of course, we'll talk about Colson Montgomery being back. Nope. We'll talk about Colson Montgomery's back. No. Colson Montgomery's back from his back injury. That's what's happening. CHGO White Sox podcast coming to you live from Studio B of our CHGO offices here in the West Loop of Chicago. I'm your host, Sean Anderson. Alongside me, Joey Christopoulos, our producer. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button and make sure you're subscribing to the CHGO Sports YouTube channel. Today is the first day of NFL free agency, and there has already been two Bears podcasts. They had one that started at 11 with the start of NFL free agency, and they just ended, I believe, or are possibly still going with an emergency podcast regarding Grady Jarrett and then another guy, Dio.
Don't make me say it.
Okay, don't make me say it because I'm not the Bears guy. We also got a Blackhawks pre and post later, and we have a Bulls pre and post. So we have you covered for all things Chicago sports. Join us with the NFL free agency starting. We do have a diehard offer for you. You could join for $4 a month. Hit that QR code that Joey will pop up soon. Come join the fun. We got a diehard Discord that I did take some questions from earlier for the show. So join us. Hit that thumbs up button and settle in. We're going to be here for 30 minutes, all right? On today's show, we're going to be talking about Luis Robert Jr. He's been fantastic in spring. Grant Taylor just had a eye-popping outing before being sent down to the minor league camp. We'll talk about Mike Clevenger's first outing as a Chicago White Sox. We'll get to Shane Smith being in the rotation. That was from our diehard Discord. And again, we'll talk about Colson Montgomery being back, and we'll talk about Colson Montgomery's back. All right. Luis Robert Jr. is making me freak out. What an exciting player. What a frustrating player. I know that people have consistently thought that he is the Cuban Mike Trout. Like Mike Trout, especially over the past couple of years, maybe not exactly what's been advertised for Trout. It's mainly just because he's dealt with so many injuries. When Trout's played, he's been very good. Not the case with Robert. Not only has he not played, but the performance has just been so up and down. 2023, he was fantastic, showing defense, speed, power. 2024, showing a lack of buy-in, a lack of ability to discern the difference between a fastball and a slider. And Joey, I don't know if you know that. It's really important to know the difference as a hitter between if it's a fastball or a slider.
I've been told it's a difference maker.
Yeah, it's a big difference maker. Luis Robert Jr. apparently worked on that this offseason. So far, and hey, it's less than 100 pitches he's seen. I don't want to start overreacting. You don't want to start overreacting. This team just lost 121 games. However, let's go over a couple of numbers. I'm a big number guy. Luis Robert Jr.'s swinging strike percentage by year, and hold on this one, Joe. 2020, 22.1%. 2021, 16.2%. 2022, 15.2%. 2023, 18.3%. 2024, 17.5%. The second highest number, awkwardly enough, is his best year at that 18.3 number for 2023. The lowest of that number being 2022, 15.2. He was phenomenal in 2021, a short, small sample of only 60 games, but he could have been, I think, Rookie of the Year. I don't know if he was still eligible, but he was easily like the best player for the White Sox down that stretch. But regardless, has not had a career strike percentage, swinging strike percentage, under 15%. Whiff rate's a little bit different of a stat. It's on StatCast, but bear with me. Let's listen to these whiff rate numbers by year for Luis Robert Jr. 2020, 30.5%. 2021, 44.4%. 2022, 31.6%. 2023, 38.5%. 2024, 33.9%. Joey, You might be a math guy, you might not be. But what did you notice about those numbers?
Some of them are incredibly high. The 44%
they're all,
is
the 44%, yes,
striking,
but they're all above 30%. Luis Robert Jr. in 2025, 21.1%. That's a swinging strike percent of 8.3 according to Fangraphs. My measurements have him at 7.3%, but that's off of StatCast alone. My main point, Luis Robert Jr. is not swinging and missing. And Joey, you can flash the ugly Fangraphs rolling average chart. Boy, did Vinny hate these. And boy, do I love being able to show these now without Vinny saying, hey, oh, none of your nerd stats. Can we play In the Arms of an Angel now by Sarah McLachlan? I miss Vinny. All right, let's look at the rolling average here. This is the 30-game rolling average for Luis Robert Jr. The blue line is weighted runs created plus. The swinging strike percentage is the red line. And what I want you to notice there is the spikes of blue, right? You could see that at the end of 2021 when he was very good around game 100, that spike near a 200 weighted runs created plus. That's why you thought he was Cuban Mike Trout, because he had nearly a 200 weighted runs created plus at the end of 2021. You see his swinging strike percentage is nearly at a career low in tandem with that weighted runs created plus. Man, I wish I was John Madden with a little telestrator. Boom! There we go.
Oh, that's the next step for CHGO. When we can draw on this screen, that's when we've made it.
Yes, absolutely. And Vinny is okay to answer Ian in the chat. I've been able to hear from him. I'm hoping he's got news soon. I haven't heard about something, but Vinny's okay. And I think there might be news about Vinny soon because he's very talented. But anyways, the spikes there. 2021 at the end of 2021, that blue spike, one of his better years, also in conjunction with his lowest swinging strike rate. You could even look at the end of 2022 there, a high peak in weighted runs created plus above 150. Are you noticing? Oh, his swinging strike rate under 15%. The big kind of, analogy, what is the word? Enigma, not enigma, but like the anomaly there is 2023. All of 2023, he's pretty much above his career average in swinging strike percentage, but he was rewarded with weighted runs created plus in 2023 by having a great year. But you could see that swinging strike rate was extremely high in 2024. And when it wasn't extremely high, his weighted runs created plus was above 100. But then as it just creeped up above 20% near the end of the year, he just completely fell off. If he's bought in and he's not like what he was at the end of the year, just completely swinging at everything, this is one of the most dangerous hitters in the American League. And Chris Getz will be right to sit on this player as he continues to build value. I don't expect him to be at a 7% or even an 8% swinging strike rate because that's Juan Soto numbers. If Luis Robert Jr. had Juan Soto discipline, I think we all know what would happen with most of the baseballs that were pitched to Luis Robert Jr. But if he's around even like 11%, 12%, that's cutting his swinging strike percent by 3 total percent there. That could be game-changing. When you see it's around or under 15 at all, that's when the major spikes in his career happens, and that's when he's above 150 weighted runs created plus, because we know the power that he can have. Can you go to the next Luis Robert Jr. Stat there? Thank you very much, Joey. These are the pitches that he's swung at. Joey, do you notice anything as a casual looking at this dot? This box of dots here?
Well, it looks like obviously he's trying to groove in on the fastball a little bit, but it looks like the outside pitch seems to still be a little bit of an issue for him. But who isn't that an issue for sometimes in Major League Baseball?
But to be fair, there are only 5 pitches that are outside of the zone. Like I think there are a couple that are borderline, but I mean even the one
colors, yeah,
that's even touching the line. He's doing a really good job of laying off of sliders away. I think he's doing a really good job of what's recognizing or what's a fastball and what's a slider, what's breaking, what's not. And what you could really see is the main thing that sticks out to me is you pointed out the fastballs. All those fastballs are belt high and above. He's really doing a good job of if anything's elevated, if anything's high up, I am going to do damage on that. I don't know if he's going to be able to take this into a season, and that's the whole thing. Can he do this over 162? Can he stay healthy over 162? There's so many questions with Luis Robert Jr. But if this player is determined, like he was in 2020 or 2023, to play 100-plus games, if this player is determined, like he was to play 100 games, to get out of Chicago, I think you're seeing that buy-in right now in spring training. I think the White Sox will be rewarded. Victor Von Doom said, time to trade. Definitely no. There's been some rumors about the Mariners possibly getting in on Luis Robert Jr., and I think that Chris is right to hold off. You have Benintendi who's injured. You have Slater who's injured. I believe Michael A. Taylor is back but still banged up with something with his elbow. Oscar Colas now has a wrist injury. They need outfielders, and I think they'll be rewarded that, if June comes along and Luis Robert Jr. is locked in at the plate and can be locked in for 3 months with the White Sox, I think they'll be rewarded both prospect-wise, and I think they won't have to pony up that $15 million, because $15 million for Luis Robert Jr. for a 4-WAR player, if he's locked in, I mean, he's guaranteed about 1.5 to 2 WAR defensively. He's going to steal you 20 bags. If he's hitting 30 homers, there's not many players in Major League Baseball that can play that defense, steal that many bags, and hit that many homers. Like, this is something to truly watch. This is easily the biggest storyline so far of spring. So, yeah, Victor's right. Definitely don't trade Luis Robert Jr. We're coming close on a ad break. Why don't you hit that thumbs up button? We got 23 people watching. Make sure you subscribe to that CHGO Sports YouTube channel. We are, of course, joined by our guy, Joey Christopoulos. Let's real quick go to Mike Clevenger. I was going to go into Grant Taylor and Nick Nastrini. We'll save them for after the break. Let's real quick go to Clevenger. We have this stat graphic here. This is from @TJStats on Twitter. You could follow him even on his Patreon if you want these stats made available to yourself, especially if you're a fantasy baseball player. Highly recommended. Mike Clevenger had 1 inning pitch yesterday against the Cleveland Guardians. He had 2 strikeouts in that inning. The main thing that you want to look at is on the far right, the TJ stuff and the grade. What it's showing you is that his four-seam fastball and his curveball are average, at least coming out of the bullpen. I think he's going to need some time to, get adjusted to this role, and also will need time to get adjusted to just being able to give his 100% in an outing. I don't know if he's fully used to letting it fully rip as a starter. I'm really interested to see what his slider will do if I'm just evaluating him as a pitcher. You could see that right now I believe that TJ Stuff Plus is at a 102. The grade's a 48, nearing on an average pitch. But his slider's been good before. Maybe his curveball is replacing that slider, but his slider, I think, sat around 85 miles per hour on Sunday. That used to be his best pitch when he was a starter. I think they're looking for, obviously, gains on his velocity, which would hopefully increase spin rate, increase that stuff plus going up, and increase the ability for him to get swinging strike rates. I think he's at least going to get a chance to pitch for the White Sox. I don't know if he's going to start on opening day, like start on the roster on opening day. He might need until April. He might need some seasoning in Charlotte, but I think they're at least going to give him a runway. I think if he comes out and gives you this inning and strikes out 2, I mean, he didn't go out there and look terrible. He's not going out there and throwing 90. He technically looks better than Karinchak, if we're even putting it at that baseline. Karinchak's looked terrible. Clevenger looked all right. So I wouldn't be shocked if Clevenger had the chance and opportunity to play with the Sox in 2025.
I just want to say the quiet part out loud, though. It still begs the question, what is the point? At least with Karinchak, if he could turn something around, you could turn it into some sort of piece to get a cash consideration or a low-level A player. Who would you even trade? What would you even get in a return from Mike Clevenger if he were to perform this year? He just seems like a body that's taking bullets and trying to eat innings with no dead end. And there's a disconnect for me, right? They're not going to spend any money on any sort of players to get on a short term to get them through the year. So why do they have Clevenger here? I just doesn't make any sense.
Because he's cheap. They're not going to spend money, so they'll give a guy league minimum. I mean, that's unfortunately the truth. I don't know why they did it. I wouldn't have brought him back. Again, we can't relitigate this. It's going to make my... There was a guy, Mount Vesuvius, and his brain melted, and then the earth cooled off so much before all the lava came, and his brain turned into glass. I think that's what this discussion might make me turn into, is have a glass brain boy from Mount Vesuvius. You want to take a break, Joe?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's take a break. We want to let you know about our friends over at Mando. Mando is a men's deodorant brand that's hyper-focused on keeping every aspect of a man's body smelling fresh and clean. And they mean every aspect. Mando overtly calls out the more colorful parts of men's bodies, such as pits, belly button. I'm going to stop pointing. Balls, butt cracks, grundles, and more. My favorite part about Mando is not only the long-lasting scent, but actually the scent itself. I like the Mount Fuji. I like the Pro Sport. Those are the two smells that I've tried, but I've heard great things about the bourbon leather, and you can try the Clover Woods and tell me how it smells. I'm Irish, so who doesn't like Clover Woods? And hey, we're in March, so why not give it a shot? It's a whole-body deodorant. It's safe to use anywhere on your body. Again, pits, balls, thigh folds, belly buttons, butt cracks, and feet. And it was created by a doctor who saw firsthand how normal BO was being misdiagnosed and mistreated. It's clinically proven to control odor better than a shower with soap alone. 12 hours after a shower, the average man's grundle odor was a 5 out of 10. With Mando, the average grundle odor level is a 0 out of 10. Joey, do you know what your grundle odor level is at right now? Don't answer.
Haven't checked recently.
I don't think we should tell people. I should try Mando, and we'll know it's at a 0.
We're making a great odor cocktail in this room on a very warmer spring day today, between me and you.
Oh, we got that window open. Mando's starter pack is perfect for new customers. It comes with the styled stick deodorant, cream tube deodorant, 2 free products of your choice like mini body wash and deodorant wipes, and free shipping. My favorite product is the cream tube deodorant. It's a new way of putting on deodorant. It's a cream tube. And as a special offer for listeners, new customers get $5 off a starter pack with our exclusive code. That equates to 40% off your starter pack. Use code CHGO at shopmando.com. Shopmando.com. Please support our show and tell them we sent you. Smell fresher, stay drier, and boost your confidence from head to toe with Mando. We also want to let you know about our friends over at Lucy. Check out lucy.co and check out their breakers. If you are looking to get your kick of nicotine, check out their hydrating capsule packet breaker. If you're a nicotine user, you should check out Lucy. You should especially check out their breakers product that has a capsule in there that provides a burst of flavor and a burst of hydration. They come in 4 milligram strength and 8 milligram strength. You could try all of their flavors with a variety 6-pack, or you can get 2 of the apple ice, 2 of the mango, 2 of the mint. You can get the pack with 2 of the berry citrus, 2 of the espresso, 2 of the apple cider. You can pick a flavor that you want. Maybe you just want to try the mint. Maybe you just want to try the apple ice. Maybe you just want to try the mango, the berry citrus, the espresso, the apple cider. Check out lucy.com or lucy.co. It's 100% pure nicotine. It's always tobacco free. You could set yourself up with a subscription and have Lucy delivered straight to your door. I know I leave the house later than I should for work. So if you're like me, you can have it shipped straight to your door. That way you can skip the gas station stop and you could start your day on a roll, because Lucy will already be shipped to your house. Go to lucy.co/CHGO and use promo code CHGO2025 to get 20% off your first order. Lucy has a 30-day refund policy if you change your mind. Again, that's lucy.co and use code CHGO2025 to get 25% off. Lucy products are only for adults of legal age, and every order is age verified. Warning, this product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical. Back here on the CHGO White Sox podcast, I'm Sean Anderson, joined by Joey Christopoulos. Hey, if you made it 18 minutes in, give us a like. And also, been about 2 months or so now doing this show solo. If you have any thoughts, if you have any feedback, feel free to leave them in the comments. Feel free to give us an Apple review. I promise I'm brave enough to read them.
We'd love to do a mailbag here.
Well,
this is a great year to do that.
Well, we only do mailbags for diehards.
Oh,
so
what a better time than now to become a diehard?
Exactly.
$36 to join for the year.
Amen, Joey. Way to get the pitch in. But yeah, no, I mean, we got Ashley's question in a second from the diehards. We do a diehard every Monday, so if you want to get your question in, we'll throw it in as a diehard. However, the point that I was trying to make was what, Joey?
I mean, we're moving off of
Clevenger. Send in the reviews. Just let me know. Have I sucked? What can I change? You want to make it a little zippier? Hey, play that clip. Play that clip from Hawk Harrelson where he speaks Portuguese. Come on, people will love that. Yeah. Hit that one. Hit that. Hit. No, that's.
Oh no, that's not.
Boom.
Yeah, that's not the one that you want.
No, I'm trying to be nice.
I got
this
it.
year to that
And
one.
bem-vindos fãs de beisebol de todo o Brasil. Vocês estão assistindo ao White Sox esta noite direto de Cleveland, Ohio.
Cleveland, Ohio. All right, let's get into some more bullpen stuff. Sorry. I think there are a couple locks for this bullpen. Again, I'm not sure about Mike Clevenger. I wouldn't be shocked if he starts on the opening day roster. I wouldn't be shocked if he starts in Charlotte, needing a couple of games to ramp up. I do think he will be on the roster come April at some point. I think the locks for the bullpen, at least for opening day, Penn Murphy, he's been fantastic in spring training, and he is the second highest rated player for the Chicago White Sox in MLB The Show 2025. Woohoo. Justin Anderson had a terrible start to spring training, but I think he's kind of settled back in. He's got a previous relationship to Ethan Katz. They trusted him a ton last year, and I feel like they want to give him another shot. I'd be surprised if he didn't make the team out of camp. We'll talk about Shane Smith. I think he starts in the bullpen, but we'll talk about it. I think there's a way that he doesn't. I think Gus Varland and Frazier Ellard are locks. If we look at who else could possibly make it, I have Tyler Gilbert, the lefty, coming in and making the bullpen. I think that he gives them a nice look, and he's been pretty good in spring training. Also, I believe he's already on the 40-man, so they're going to either have to cut him completely or at least give him a shot. I think they give him a shot. The final spot, I believe, comes down to Jared Schuster or Jordan Leisure. Main thing, do they want Schuster for the length? I think Schuster deserves the spot. I think he was very good with the Major League team last year. I think he was fine in a bullpen spot, and especially if this starter isn't good, whether it be Bryce Wilson, Sean Burke, even Jonathan Cannon, Davis Martin, Schuster can give you some length. Leisure has been pretty good this year, and we know his stuff is major league level. His control wasn't. I wouldn't hate to see him start off in Charlotte and give Schuster that ability, because that way, if you have Clevenger on the opening day roster, if Clevenger sucks, you could put Leisure into that Clevenger spot because you think Clevenger will be a high leverage pitcher, or they at least think Clevenger will be a high leverage pitcher because of his swing and miss stuff. If you're looking for swing and miss stuff, we know Leisure can provide that. So I would go Anderson, Clevenger, Shane Smith, Penn Murphy, Gus Varland, Tyler Gilbert, Frazier Ellard, and just Jared Schuster as my opening day bullpen. I have Shane Smith in the bullpen because I think Sean Burke will be a starter. Let's talk about Shane Burke and Shane Smith, and I will not confuse their names because that definitely isn't confusing. Ashley, in our diehard Discord, sent in a mailback question, and she was wondering about Shane Smith in the rotation. Shane Smith was fantastic against the Dodgers on Saturday. It went 5-2. Shane Smith, 3 innings pitch, 5 Ks, and we have the TJ stats stuff here. Yeah, that was on Saturday on the 8th. And the main thing that sticks out is 3+ pitches there from Shane Smith. You can see there under TJ stuff and grade, you can see the orange, 2 pitches over 50. That's his 4-seamer and cutter. And you could see that his slider is a 60 grade pitch. The one thing that concerns me is his inability to hit the zone. Will he be able to hit the zone consistently enough as a starter? He did this for 3 innings. Can he do it for 5? That's why I think if you're maybe looking to replace Jared Schuster, Shane Smith can maybe be in that Schuster mold where he can give you 3 innings, and if he's terrible, oh well, he's replacing a starter that was already terrible. I think Shane Smith is absolutely making this opening day roster, being the first overall pick of the Rule 5 draft. It seemed like the White Sox clearly knew who they wanted. They went after him. They got him. I think they made that pick even before the Rule 5 draft started. It seems like they're going to give him a shot on this opening day roster. I just think he's going to be better off in the bullpen. But Sean Burke, who made it up to the Major League team last year, was fairly fantastic, had that great game against the Oakland A's last year. He just got sent down, quote unquote, in a way. He wasn't reassigned to minor league camp, but he did pitch in a minor league game against the Reds. 3 innings pitched, 1 hit, no earned runs, 4 Ks, 43 pitches, 31 strikes. I don't know why he was down there. Maybe they put him down there because they just had the ability to. Hey, we can get him 3 innings. It doesn't matter against what level of competition. I don't know if that's really a tip of the hat or not for Sean Burke. I would have him in the opening day rotation. I have Cannon, Martin, Perez, Sean Burke, and Bryce Wilson as my 5 starters. But maybe they do have Burke start in Charlotte. Maybe this is a sign of something. Shane Smith can be in that bullpen, and then that way you can have Clevenger and Leisure and Schuster all in that bullpen together, and then that way you don't have to make any of those tough decisions. But also, you look at the bullpen, there's a pretty decent amount of options. Some guys that I'm actually going to be sad to see if they have to cut. You look at the rotation currently in AAA, Iriarte, Nistrini, Eater, Wickelman Gonzalez, and Owen White. Even included there is Jared Schuster if he doesn't make the opening day roster. I even think Mason Adams can make the opening day roster. If you don't even want to start Sean Burke, I think Mason Adams could be a starter on opening day for the Chicago White Sox. They're in a really good spot. Also, Cam Boozer being cut. He's been all right this spring. I think Brandon Eisert's an interesting look. We've mentioned James Karinchak before. Steven Wilson's stuff looks okay this year. You even have Dan Altavilla, who's been very decent. Matthew Cortese saying, why is Grant Taylor not on the Sox? Hey, this is probably a good reason to go into Grant Taylor. Joey, why not? So just real quick, I think I answered it, but Shane Smith, let's start him in the bullpen. But if they start him in the rotation, I guess I won't be mad. I just will be wondering why Burke isn't there. Just because they do kind of have a logjam in AAA already. I don't think you should continue to add to it, but maybe this delay starts, right? Maybe you just don't want Iriarte to start right away. I don't know why. Maybe you don't want Nistrini to start right away. I don't know why. I'm just trying to think. Maybe you want Burke to have 2 starts at Charlotte before it gets pulled up. I don't know. I don't know what they'll do. Anyways, I know they did send Grant Taylor and reassigned him to minor league camp. I think that's why my guy Matthew Cortese is upset. TJ Stats put out Grant Taylor's stuff from his 4 innings pitched in spring training so far. And his stuff is just phenomenal. You could see a grade there of 64 and I believe 67 on his 4-seamer, and his cutter was consistently hitting 100 with ease. The main reason why he's not on the Sox is because he can't throw more than 4 innings. I mean, that's the main issue right now with Noah Schultz and Grant Taylor is they have all the stuff and talent in the world. They are just not seasoned pitchers. These guys don't have the same ability to go out and throw 5 innings every 5 days. And that's what they're going to take the minor league time to do is build these players up. I think I went back and saw, again, Grant Taylor with LSU. I think he only had 4 starts that went over 4 innings pitched. Last year, he only had 4 starts with 4 innings pitched before needing to be shut down. I don't think that he's proven enough that he can do this as a starter consistently. He needs to prove that he can be a starter consistently at the minor league level before they bring him up, because they could bring him up right now as a closer and he'll be lights out. I think what you're trying to see is if Grant Taylor can stretch out a little bit and be a dominant 6-inning guy every 5 days for you, because this stuff is absolutely unhittable. All he needs to do is go up there and throw 9 pitches. He's probably going to get 9 swinging strikes. I don't understand how it's possible for somebody to get this type of extension as well. I mean, he's getting more extension than his body allows. He's 6'3", getting 7'3" of extension consistently. So that 100, even coming off of his hands, is coming at you further than a typical 6'3" pitcher. Like, it just eats up hitters. So he's got the talent absolutely to be on a major league roster, but they're looking to build him up as a starter, so they have to build him up. Again, he could pitch in the bullpen for sure, but it's the Kopech thing. And even it's less of the Kopech thing because Kopech was always a starter, and Kopech was throwing 120 innings. I mean, Grant Taylor didn't even throw over 20 innings last year. So it's mainly just seasoning for these guys. But, I mean, he's disgusting. On that Saturday game against the Dodgers, 7 batters faced, 1 walk, 6 strikeouts. Mercy is a top 100 prospect for Baseball Prospectus and Fangraphs. I believe just cracking in the top 100, but not in the top 90. I think that's likely going to change. I think he's going to be on every single prospect ranking if he stays healthy in 2025. All right. Why do I have a Karinchak thing? Oh, that's Luis Robert. All right. What else do we have? We have Colson's back. There we go. Oh, let's get to City Connect. You like that? Yeah. We're wrapping up here. If you are watching us on Roku TV and if you are watching us on Samsung, make sure that you sign up to be a diehard today. If you haven't already, we have that sale going on, $36 for the year because of free agency. So you can sign up to be a diehard today. You could send in mailbag questions on Monday to the show. Ashley did send one in. She asked it about the City Connect jerseys and what the next ones for the White Sox should look like. This was an email sent out to fans, and it was a swag package for City Connect, and it said Nike City Connect 2.0. There's not been an official announcement. There has not been a leak of any sorts of the White Sox getting a 2.0 City Connect jersey. My biggest concern is that it's going to be ugly. My biggest concern is that Nike doesn't really have a decent track record of making these jerseys. I think if you looked at all 30 of the first round of City Connect jerseys, 5 of them were like 2 thumbs up worthy. It was pretty hit or miss with those jerseys. And I think the White Sox were one of those teams, one of those 5 teams that got a complete hit. I do not want a new City Connect jersey. I am happy with what the White Sox have. If the White Sox want to go and roll out the throwbacks for the 125th year, that's what I'm all for. Have them in the 83s. Have them in the 72 pinstripes with the Reds. Have them play in the shorts. I don't care. Have them in the Field of Dream game outfits that they wore. Outfits.
Uniforms.
Outfits. That's real good.
Look at this one.
Yeah,
though.
no. So this is posted by Nick Morawski. I don't know who originally designed this. It is basically, for those podcast listeners, it is the 83 White Sox jersey, but instead of it being a white base, it's a black base. Instead of having a red ribbon across the chest, it's a gray ribbon. It still has the white bar, but instead of having socks in navy, it has socks in black. So it's kind of a black and gray version of the 83s. I don't like these that much. And also, the one thing, too, is they're not, like, taking old jerseys and revamping them. They're trying to put their own spin on jerseys. They're trying to create their own things. They're not just going to take these things and, throw them into Photoshop and change the colors a little bit and say, this is the jersey. So if it was as simple as this, sure, that's fine. But you asked if it was a giveaway. Like, it looks more like a giveaway than an actual jersey. That's what I thought
at first. I mean,
which is fine for a giveaway, but that is not a jersey. I feel like that's too much of a rehash. Keep it with the 83s. If you're going to go with the Batterman, keep it with the red, blue, and white. And if you're going to do something this year, just give me more throwbacks. Give me the cutoff sleeves. Come on.
Yeah, look, I'm with you. I mean, the thing that I was attracted to it was, as you mentioned, it's got that it's the Pepsi color 83s, but obviously in the black and white. And gray. I mean, I don't know, man. If that had Canerico on the back of it, I would think about it. I would.
Yeah, but instead it's going to say Vaughn. Instead it's going to say Lee, 26.
Vargas.
Instead it's going to say Vargas, 20. Ian's saying Vargas another 2 RBIs today. Is he heating up? I don't know. To be honest, it's spring training, so that one is a guy that I need to wait and see. I have known what Luis Robert Jr. can do at his best in a spring train or in a full 100+ game regular season. That's why I think it's easy to look at his spring training numbers and just be like, hey, watch out. With Vargas, I don't even know what I'm looking at. With Vargas, I don't know what he is at his best. And I don't think Vargas knows what he is at his best. I'm not buying into Vargas, but I think he is also going to lead the team in home runs because Robert will be traded away before he hits, I think, the 20 mark. And then that way Vargas leads the team at like 21 because he's just going to get a ton of playing time. Ian also saying, do you have any stats on defense? Try to find some after a bad start. It seems much better. Yeah, I don't think you can read spring training defenses, especially with errors and stuff. Like, you're not getting true StatCast data from all these parks, so I don't think you can truly grade out the defense. It's mainly the eye test when we're able to get those games. And for some reason, CHSN doesn't have those games. Again, why have a network if you're not going to be able to put anything on the network? Final one, Colson Montgomery. After about a 10-day break, he finally played yesterday against the Guardians, batted 6th in the lineup, had 2 at-bats, 1 ball in play, 94.1 mile per hour exit velocity, hard hits 95. The issue, it was a negative 25-degree launch angle, so that ball went 6 feet. So that's an Eloy Jimenez special. Let's hit the ball real hard, right in the dirt. That's on an 81.1 mile per hour pitch. The main thing that we have been trying to figure out, and it's been such a small sample with Colson, is what can he do against high velocity? He has faced 4 95-plus mile per hour pitches. He has 1 whiff, One foul ball. He hit it 87.6 miles per hour, 157 feet, 74 degrees in the air. So that was just straight up. And then one ball. And the one ball he did put in play, 113 miles per hour, 13-degree launch angle, 297 feet. It was a line out, but that's a nice line out. We'll take those. That's a win in the scorebook. I don't think he should be this opening day roster, the opening day starting shortstop still. I'm excited to see what he can do over the next 15 games or so. We'll see if he gets in today's game and if he's able to play. But Amaya did make the start at at shortstop for today's spring training game. So we'll see if Colson's able to jump in later today. But I would be surprised if Colson Montgomery was your opening day shortstop. William Bergoya is in, and Josh Rojas has moved to shortstop as well. So that's another thing we probably should watch out, is if they're just going to abandon the idea of Colson, abandon the idea of Mydroth, abandon the idea of Jacob Amaya, and they'll just move Josh Rojas, who hasn't played there in 2 years, at shortstop. That should go great. Hit that thumbs up button. Make sure you're subscribing. For Joey Christopoulos, my producer, I'm Sean Anderson. We'll talk to you tomorrow at 4 p.m. Goodbye.
We all silly like the mayor.